Welcome back, everybody, to the Chongqing Major SCA Qualifiers. We're down in the lower bracket portion of Group B. And this is WarriorsGaming.Unity versus Boom ID. Boom ID currently leading 1-0 in this best-of-3 series. So WarriorsGaming.Unity right on the brink of elimination. Let's get you guys some in-game audio so you can hear all of those grunts and moans of all the heroes as they get banned. And let's take a look at this draft. WarriorsGaming.Unity going to be adjusting a little bit after the previous game. They will be banning out the Dazzle. Lone Druid still being banned. I don't know what to make of these Mirana bans, but Boom ID sticking to their guns on that. Centaur being banned once again. Will Wisp be banned again? Actually, wait, will Wisp not be banned again? I guess is the correct question.
10 seconds.
Boom ID did choose to ban it against Fnatic both games, but they did not ban it against WarriorsGaming.Unity. Though Boom did have the first overall pick in that previous game, so they opted for the Dazzle. I guess it's more that Warriors Gaming didn't choose to ban it. Other bans from the previous game were Grimstroke and Doom. But Warriors Gaming, I don't know. I don't want them to keep picking this Sand King, to be honest. I don't like the way the Kang has been playing it. So if you're a Warriors Gaming Unity fan, you might want Boom to actually ban it in this spot so that Kang has to play something else, because I don't think that the Sand King has been working. But instead, we're just going to have a Brewmaster ban. That hero's been looking pretty darn strong this patch as well. Warriors Gaming, what are they going to get rid of? Okay, they just banned the PA for whatever reason. I don't know what that's necessarily about, but now Boom ID. Okay. Maybe they just take the Tusk here. There's Tusk, there's Lich, there's Axe. What else did they prioritize? They did prioritize Axe versus Fnatic. They also picked Lich Brewmaster versus Fnatic as one of their openers, so could see Axe Lich or something coming in here. Grimstroke has also made it in, so I would not be at all surprised to see the Grimstroke picked either. Maybe this is a toss-up between Grim and Axe in this game. Or in this spot. I guess we'll have to see.
Radiant team pick.
No, it's Shadow Shaman. Alright.
Radiant team pick.
Warriors Gaming Unity just gonna go for Rubik. Rubik Tusk, perhaps?
Dire team
A
pick.
little bit of save wouldn't be bad against the Shadow Shaman, but no, okay, instead they go for Axe. Also a very solid hero. I think if you're going to be playing the kind of playstyle that Kang has been going for, I think the Axe is just a little bit better at it. You can get the Vanguard first, but then you still farm pretty quickly. It's going to give them the option to rotate around a little bit more on their supports, which I think that's where Warriors Gaming did a little bit better in their earlier series, is when they had more rotation potential from their support. So the Axe can kind of give that to them. They are going to have to be a little bit careful with Axe, though, just because there's a lot of interrupts if he's cutting the waves, so he can't afford to play around too much, since he won't be able to reliably TP out against the Shadow Shaman or anything. So he will still have to be a little bit careful. What heroes are completely dead from last patch? It feels like we haven't been seeing any Weaver. Weaver was very, very popular. What else? I guess Terrorblade, haven't really been seeing him. Carry meta seems to have shifted a little bit. I guess we'll have to see what Boom ID like against this Axe. So we're probably thinking Yule's carriers, heroes that can deal with a lane being cut. Did Boom just go for Grimstroke here? No, they're going to take the Sand King. Okay. So we'll see what kind of build this SK ends up going for. I think he's just going to be played as your position 3. They are picking Sand King into Rubik, but it's been a little bit tough for Rubik to steal Burrow Strike as of late, especially with the... Well, I guess the new Sandstorm, is the cooldown significantly different? I don't actually know off the top of my head, but I haven't seen Rubik stealing Burrow Strike a whole lot recently versus Sand King. Tinker, once again, going to be the ban. I don't even know if that's so much about... Like, Boom banned Tinker, but then they picked Spectre last game. So this might just be more of like a player matchup thing, or just a hero that they don't like playing against, more than Tinker being good against their overall strategy. Arc Warden also removed. So I think the Tusk still looks pretty good for Boom ID. They don't have the pick coming out of this phase, though, so Warriors Gaming could take it away from them. What else have we been seeing today? Tiger have been picked that one game of Spirit Breaker, and then it got banned in the second round. Maybe that's in the back of Warriors Gaming's mind a little bit. What else? And Boom dipping pretty deep into their reserve time here. Update from the other match. Quick spoiler for Fnatic versus Tigers. It looks like Tigers did end up losing that first game, so Fnatic currently up 1-0. So we might be seeing Tigers in our third round match up against the winner of this. But of course, they do still have a couple of games to make their way back. And now the draft is just speeding up to an insane degree as we get Dragon Knight, Grimstroke, and Shadow Demon all coming out within a couple of seconds of one another. Jeez. Okay, so a little bit surprised that the Grim makes it through into the second phase. Some very nice synergy here with the Shadow Shaman. The Shadow Demon seems decent enough this game, but doesn't really seem like it's specifically good against anything. The Disruption save is potentially pretty good here. But quite an early Dragon Knight pick. So Warriors Gaming gonna try and give... they're gonna give last pick to their mid. Templars... Why? Wait, no, what? There is no way that this is a good TA pick. No way. It's not even that good against Dragon Knight, and it's abysmal versus Axe and Shadow Demon. Like, Shadow Demon has plenty of damage instances. He's a kiting hero as well, which TA hates playing against. And Axe just obliterates TA. Call is so annoying for TA to play against. The battle hunger is miserable. I don't understand why Boom ID are picking this Templar Assassin at all. What's the point? I really don't get it. I think they've looked like the better team so far, but after what felt like a pretty clear draft win in the previous draft, this feels like a pretty major misstep to me. I don't see the motivation to pick Templar Assassin. And they've kind of revealed some stuff about their lanes as well. Both teams leaving their carry pick until quite late here. Alright, Spectre gonna get banned out. Shadow Demon's a pretty nice support to have against Spectre, but still probably not enough that they're gonna let them have it this game. And Warriors Gaming, the game plan is a little bit clearer for their lineup now. They can rally around the Dragon Knight. They're gonna get the Axe Blink and find some kills with it. I like this a bit more than their previous draft. Like, Axe has a pretty guaranteed game in theory. Dragon Knight has a pretty guaranteed game plan. And they can last pick a good carry. I think that's the issue. We just haven't seen nothing to say have a game, really, in any of the games that Warriors Gaming have played so far today. Like, all three games, the carry has just been extremely low impact. So, Huskar is the ban, and now Boom ID pick... I don't know. Do they pick Slark in this position? He's pretty good at hounding these supports and pretty good against Dragon Knight with the Silver Edge, but not great against Axe, and then there's still room to counterpick him here. Also, the lineup from Warriors Gaming is going to be pretty good at grouping up, which Slark is not so great against. If they really want to try and take this late, they could look at something like a Medusa maybe, but I think that might be a little bit greedy here. So they're just gonna go for Lifestealer. Okay. Alright. I mean, decent against the Axe and the Dragon Knight. They're both tanky heroes, but they're both tanky heroes more because of their armor than because of their HP. So we'll see how the Lifestealer does. He's at least okay against Axe in the lane. He can sustain under the tower if Axe is cutting the creep wave, which is certainly good. And now Warriors Gaming.Unity will take a Terrorblade. Okay. Alright. Nothing to say again on these previous patch heroes, but TB looks decent here. Very high armor against the physical damage of the Lifestealer and the Templar Assassin. If we're following some like previous Ramsey's wisdom, then we're going to see this Lifestealer going for the Radiance build, which I think would actually be quite good here against the Terrorblade if he can get it. I mean the blink cancel is also going to be annoying for the Dragon Knight and the Axe. So, to me, this game immediately screams for Lifestealer Radiance. But we'll see what happens. Both teams very good ganking supports, lots of lockdown, lots of damage. How they choose to move around and make plays is going to be a very I think that's going to determine a lot of this game. Because compared to some of the previous games, both teams actually have really good cores to gank for here. Like almost every single core in this game has something to contribute to an early gank, so the supports can play on all 3 lanes. And when you can play on all 3 lanes, it becomes really important. Every single decision that you make is that much more important because making the wrong call has a really big opportunity cost. So we'll see. But okay, we got what else we got? We got Shadow Demon Terrorblade synergy here. I still don't like this Templar Assassin pick at all, and this is a much better draft, I think, from Warriors Gaming, but we've also seen them struggle a little bit today, so I don't want to say I'm too confident about this, but this is the one game where I feel like their draft has worked out pretty nicely. And they seem to be in pretty good spirits. They're spamming some chat wheels. Axe is already planning to cut the wave. He's got his double stout shield. So yeah, he's going to be cutting the wave. Looks like the supports are probably just going to be off ganking and rotating and stuff like that. Sand King Grimstroke is a pretty brutal lane combination though. So we'll see how Terrorblade copes against this. He can of course retreat into the jungle in typical Terrorblade fashion, but I don't know how well they're actually going to be able to protect him in this lane. And you can even see that Warriors Gaming are not super confident about their ability to win this lane, given that they're blocking out their own big camp. So they don't want the lane to get shoved by the Sand King and then side pull shenanigans to happen from the Grimstroke. Though it could still happen anyway. Grimstroke does have a sentry ward for himself, so gotta watch out for that. And no sentry ward at all for Warriors Gaming. Alright, sentry block in the small camp, but not gonna find any of the... Not gonna find that observer, unfortunately. FBZ. Burrow Strike first for your Sand King. Just zoning everybody away from these bounty runes. They're gonna try and come and contest up top here, but Fervian and Kezcute easily able to push them back, so it is gonna end up being 3 bounty runes once again this game for Boom ID. Kang is unwilling to skill, I think, anything other than counter Helix. Is he actually gonna go all the way around? Okay, so he's gonna give the first wave to Rubik, and then he's gonna be right in position to cut the second wave. But it looks like Kezcute already onto him somewhat. Yeah, he spots the axe not in the lane, so starts giving him some punches. Skills up the Ether Shock. Wait, is nobody gonna take the experience from this first wave? Hello? Warriors Gaming? Are you really just gonna let this get completely denied by Lifestealer? Is that the plan here? What is going on? Kezcute just gonna try and fight with this creep wave. Oop. Need to be careful not to stand in the creep wave. Taking a lot of damage off of the spins. At least he's got some boots. How's this mid lane gonna end up going? Dragon Knight doing just fine. I think this is just a fine matchup for Dragon Knight. He gets level 6, and he does even better. Alright, this is... I don't think Rubik should be here. I don't think this is the right play from Felix. I don't think he should be taking any of Axe's experience. Like, this just doesn't make any sense to me. And Fervigan's gonna be just fine with this. Like, he's quite happy with what's going on here. They are trying to pull waves together to accelerate the overall experience a little bit. I guess Rubik gets a couple of levels up here and then goes bottom. Because this TB has already got a Sand King and a Grimstroke breathing down his neck, and Shadow Demon's doing his level best with some Shadow Poison to spin this out and do some, apply some harassment, but he's actually just given the Sand King a ton of wand charges, it feels like. Alright, Kang salving up. Felix is kind of low. Lifestealer getting perfect CS. Not really too worried about anything at the moment. Yeah, looking like maybe just a Treads Radiance build from him. Yeah, what is the point of this TA pick? He's not even winning the lane now. It only gets worse later on. I don't understand. Alright. God, this strategy is so annoying, but... Fervian's still doing just fine. They get the lift back onto Shadow Shaman, sticking around a little bit too long, and he is going to be first blood. Alright, nicely grabbed by Kang. That's going to be a very fast Vanguard for him. Mikoto. I mean, still CSing okay at mid, but not really beating the Dragonite at all. Down bottom, CZY in some trouble, but Jokum also taking some auto attacks here. He's got a couple of stick charges, not popping them just yet, still surviving. If he can open up some space, he is going to be able to get this salve off. Nothing to say, is still pretty fast, but FBZ slows him down with the caustic. And it looks like Jokum is going to be okay, so... Getting a kill down here. TB's farm getting pressured somewhat, but not by too much. And Fervian has started dragging the Radiant Creep Wave into the jungle himself, so he can actually pick up some additional farm in all of this. So this top lane is becoming a very weird situation. Oh, CZY. Burst Strike. Still have a Stroke of Fate and the Inkswell, but not using either of them at the moment. Metamorphosis does get forced out, so nothing to say. A little bit more farm for him there. Alright, TA is starting to pick up the pace a little bit more on the mid lane here, grabbing a couple more Wraith Bands. And Shaman is still trying to harass the Rubik Axe, but they're getting experience and he's getting nothing. Lifestealer's taking everything right now up top. But he is getting absolute free farm. 30 CS to his name. So if there was ever a game for the Radiants, I feel like this has got to be it. Oh man, the Radiant have even blocked this big camp to make it a little bit harder for him to keep kind of combination farming. Oh no, Terrorblade dies bottom. Burst Strike Inkswell is a very strong combination. Rubik's TPing down here at last. FPZ is going to be fine though. Nice Stroke of Fate. And boom. Still plenty of mana on the Sand King, and he's got some more HP with this salve, so he'll be able to stick around. Kezcute's even down here. Mid lane, Mercury has found himself a double damage rune. Just waiting for a good opportunity to pop this salve. He's gonna get back to full. He'll be okay. Alright, we're gonna stop looking at top because bottom is the only interesting place on the map right now. Got the tri-lane versus tri-lane. 5-minute bounties coming up. Rubik goes a little bit too far forward. Looking quite dead at this point. They're gonna disrupt him, but there is an Inkswell and does everything that he can. Put some damage up before he goes down, but Felix coming a little bit too far forward. And FBZ, this is what I want to see from Sand King. I don't mind the a couple of early points in Sandstorm, but skill your Burrow Strike, man. It's by far your best ability. He is going for, I mean, he's also going for the Vanguard this game, looks like. But Soul Ring first. DK TPing out of the mid lane. Well, walking back and TPing back in. Nothing to say. Reverse Strike forward. Try to even getting silenced. Kezcute running around the corner. CZY does manage to get that off. Oh no, the 3-man Inkswell coming through. Tons of damage. Burrow Strike is going to be another one coming up soon. They do manage to get the lift back just in time. FBZ instead going to turn his attention over towards Nothing to Say. They've got another Stroke of Fate. And the Shackles. They're just auto-attacking him down, and one more zap from Kezcute. Finishes it off. CZY TPing in now, but looks like Jokum's also going to be fine. And Boom ID just completely crushing this bottom lane. They're giving farm to the Axe, but Lifestealer's farming fantastically. And mid lane, slight advantage in TA's favor, but the biggest problem has to be that this Terrorblade is getting so heavily pressured. And Boom even going to grab themselves a nice little 3-man shrine here. Do they have a smoke? No, no smoke. TA farming some neutrals a little bit. Kang has his Vanguard, so he's going to have to make some plays with this Blink once he picks it up. Fervian, oh, okay. Why? Why buy these Wraith Bands? What are they doing for you? I don't think it's increasing your farm speed that much. I really think you should just go for the Radiance ASAP, but... Oh. Slow down onto Mercury. He's pretty tanky. WG.U is tanking tower shots. They got a lot of lockdown here. Another TA trap coming up. DK quite tanky with his double bracer build. Even the double damage is not enough, and now Mercury finds a turnaround. A little TP in from Rubik. That's about it. And Kang continues to just cut waves and farm. Boom support's actually just going to come over here and use this shrine themselves. There's no way that they kill this Axe, so time for them to just run on out of here. Axe could even potentially farm those Ancients with his Vanguard. FBZ getting gone on down bottom. Running for the hills. I think he might be okay, so long as he can get another Burrow Strike off. He's just staying away from the Terrorblade. Yeah, it looks like he's going to be just fine. And yeah, Axe going to try and clear this Ancient stack quickly. WG.U at least going to get some of this experience. And now they're looking for the kill on the Axe, in fact. Gotta be a little bit careful. The call comes through. He's going to try for the TP out, but they've got the Hex waiting. So Kang isolated here. They also lose the Shadow Demon over at bottom. And Mikoto quickly finds that kill. Very nice catch-up experience for the Shadow Shaman, now level 4. And the Axe getting knocked down a peg even before he grabs his Blink Dagger. And Lifestealer still just contentedly farming. 70 CS. Almost doubling up the Terrorblade, who continues to be pressured by this dual lane. FBZ, is he even going to bother with the Vanguard? It is a pretty good Crimson Guard game against the DK right click and the Terrorblade, but I don't know if he really needs it. Alright, that's cute. Dragon Tail for 2 denies, sure. Jokum. Made a little bit of trouble. Does have the Phantom's Embrace and everything else available. FBZ going to be looking for the Burrow Strike. They need the slowdown. Managed to grab it. Now the silence onto the Rubik. Inkswell also coming through. Looks like Felix should be dead. And they find the follow-up stun. Shadow Demon getting a little bit too close. And now Jokum's got Earn Charges. So they're dealing decent damage. Another Burrow Strike soon for FBZ. Gets him out of range of the Terrorblade and finds the kill. This bottom lane combination just looking way too strong. And nothing that Warriors Gaming can really do about it. I thought that the Rubik and the Shadow Demon were going to be reasonably strong in lane, but nothing compared to this Grimstroke tanking combination. I guess that's the other thing. A lot of people have been focusing on the Soulbind synergy with the Grimstroke, at least so far in this qualifier, but gotta remember the way that Inkswell synergizes with these movement abilities as well. Pretty ridiculous. 10-minute bounties coming up. Looks like, oh no, all 4 going to boom. What you say, Dota Plus? Not too bad just yet, but net worth and experience telling a little bit of a different story. Still liking Terrorblade's position in this game, though I'm not so sure. Dragon Knight is also going to be going for a Radiance here. I guess it's nice against the TA. Just feels like it's going to take him forever to get. Well, center. Inkswell. Everything dropped. They do get the jump in call, but it doesn't connect onto anybody. Oh no, they did manage to grab the Grimstroke. Okay. Sand King makes it a little bit further away. Bit low on mana. If he can get this stick off cooldown, I think he might actually be able to escape. Needs to look for a multi-man burrow and then run for it. Gets through a little bit further, lifts on cooldown, gets into the Sandstorm. Do they have any more detection? They do not. And FBZ actually going to be just fine. CZY is like... What is he doing? He's pumping Shadow Poison into this Sandstorm as if he knows where FBZ is, but he hasn't hit a single one. Kang is thinking about just waiting around here to jump back in, but they can see him this entire time. He's just sitting in vision. He's TPing mid now, and they also know about that. Baiting him a little bit on Mikoto as they've also got the Grimstroke over here. They jump the Grim, but here comes the turnaround. They need to avoid too many more spins. They get the silence up onto him. No more spins now. Tia Trap gets dropped down. They're going to be looking for the turnaround with Felix. Nice little stroke of fate flying through. Everybody else on Warriors Gaming.Unity now rotating towards mid. Mikoto does manage to get another refraction up, but it gets worked through really quickly. And CZY will be the one to grab that kill. Okay, they tried to bait the Axe, but did not work out well. FBZ is going to be going for some Boots of Travel early here. Well, what is everybody doing with this Sand King here? What's happening? Alright, well, at least he can keep doing this. Terrorblade, what's he got? How are we doing on net worth? Terrorblade, bottom 5. Not great. Coming back to the lane, not retreating into the jungle just yet. Is going to be going for an early Manta. FBZ comes over to say hello, but I don't think he's actually interested in the Terrorblade. He just wants his creep wave and continuing to farm up in the jungle. Mercury applying some pressure to this mid tier 1 tower, but this lifestealer is still just getting huge. Rivian not being dealt with at all. Gonna have his relic before too long. Are they gonna try and gank him? This is another smoke gank with the axe. They really need to make some plays happen on the map right now since they are pretty far behind. And another TA kill could be really nice in this position. They've got a little bit of vision down, but axe is not showing on the map, so it's kind of suspicious. And DK's playing really far up.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
And double Radiance game. What has Dota become? Looks like we're gonna have a tier 1 for tier 1 trade, though FBZ has something to say about that. Comes in here. He's pretty tanky, but I don't know if it's tanky enough. Can he get the burrow strike out? Yes, he will be able to. He's still slowed down, however, by the battle hunger. Looks like he will be brought down. Killing spree ended. Jokum also coming in here. Looks like he's going to be the next one to fall. A couple more auto attacks as Mercury finds a double, and that is some very nice acceleration towards his Radiance. But the first Radiance this game is still going to be in the hands of the Lifestealer. Terrorblade catching up a little bit over in bottom lane now that the game is kind of being dragged away from down here. But man, Grimstroke almost has his Spirit Vessel already. That is going to make DK's life very hard.
I've been waiting for.
Can we get another axe gank going? I think that's the thing. Kang just you got to keep going. He has to keep ganking. If they could kill this Lifestealer, that would be fantastic, but don't know if that's going to be quite so easy. Quick little D-ward from the Shadow Shaman as well. The vision situation for Warriors Gaming is no bueno. They don't have a single observer ward on the map. They don't really see anyone other than the Lifestealer farming and the Sand King, who are both quite happy to be showing in lanes at the moment. Sand King is TPing away, which is a little bit suspicious as they go for this smoke. Probably should have cleared the wave or something first. Like if you're Warriors Gaming, you should kind of know that something's going on here. Sand King just TPing away from farm, but Rubik might still die. Ooh, or is the courier gonna die? Oh no! They've popped the shield. Find the Shadow Demon up on the high ground. Pops down a Sentry Ward. It's gonna be brought down by one more auto attack. Kang's coming over. Felix gonna try for the TP out. Is he gonna be successful? Nope. Just gets auto attacked to death. Kang being chased by the Sand King. Mercury has already used his dragon form, so not a whole lot that he can do. Oh, and they're just wrapping around on Kang. His blink's still on cooldown for 3 seconds. If they see him, he's dead. Oh, they haven't spotted him just yet. Now they find him. We'll be able to come in here, pop down the Mass Serpent wards, keep him locked down. Mercury is tanky, but doesn't really do a whole lot of damage. So Boom just gonna come swarm this tier 2 tower. Bottom lane getting pushed out by Makoto, and Terrorblade still just chilling in the jungle. But 3-man Stroke of Fate coming through. Burrow Strike stolen. They get the lift back onto FBZ, but can't really kill him. And now the line being drawn on mid, so Boom ID can just do the exact same thing over there. They're now up 8k net worth, starting to shift that win probability just that little bit more. Need some more axe ganks. That's what we really need. So far, it feels like the only person that Kang has actually killed with his Blink Dagger has just been the Grimstroke, right? He killed Grimstroke bottom, and then he killed Grimstroke mid. And now he's killing Grimstroke mid again. But he's just the position 4. I don't think Jokum really minds too much. Haven't found this TA. Lifestealer is still just fine. And as soon as... Oh, wait, is Sand King not going for Blink? There's no way that you don't go for Blink when you've got Lifestealer on your team, right? Like, I guess maybe Lifestealer is just going to be playing in Ancients this game or something, but surely when you've got Lifestealer, you just go for these Infest Bombs. Surely. I guess not. Lifestealer is going to be opting for an S&Y here instead of a halberd or anything. Has grabbed the attack speed talent. He's going to be farming very quickly from this point forward. Just making some axe illusions to go and scout. Alright. Cute and FBZ heading down here. FBZ has just grabbed himself a Yule Scepter, going for the 20 move speed talent. So it looks like he's going to be playing Blinkless pretty much the entire game. Does DK almost have his Radiance? He's getting close. They really need that online. This Lifestealer is so big. Level 14. And he's had completely uncontested free farm this entire game, pretty much.
Radiant's bottom tower has fallen.
And Warriors Gaming not really finding anything with the axe. Gang coming up here, working towards his blade mail. Boom. What? Wait, did they not finish that D ward?
Dire's top tower is under
attack. Who's got what up here? Alright, so yeah, there was an observer ward up here, but quickly get rid of it. Head over to mid, grab the tier 1 tower, push that net worth lead even more, grab really nice control around the Roshan pit to grab the Aegis a little bit later on. TB is starting to catch back up. He's at least got his Yasha and almost has the Manta style completed, but Boom are still just trucking, and they don't seem to be having any issues whatsoever. Yeah, they could TP the Dragon Knight back and start making some Radiance illusions to push this out, but still very much feels like Boom are just in control of this map. The vision is the big problem. If you're sitting there thinking like, oh, why isn't the axe ganking? Like, why is nothing happening? It's because they haven't been able to keep any wards on the map at all. They have no vision to speak of whatsoever. A lot of that is because Boom have money and they've just been pumping that gold into buying sentry wards to prevent any kind of vision whatsoever coming out from Warriors Gaming. But I also think that Warriors Gaming just kind of aren't moving in the right way. Like, you gotta smoke and get a pick and put down some wards. And it's hard when you don't have vision, but they still have to kind of try. They're gonna come running into Kescute here. Should be able to bring him down. Oop. Maybe not so easy. Fervian comes running across. They're focused on the Rubik first. Mikoto into the back lines, looking towards CZY. They do manage to get the Mass Serpent wards down. Now Burrow striking over onto the Dragon Knight. That Spirit Vessel just does so much work against him. Terrorblade doing what he can over on the other side of the fight, but Mikoto just kites away from him. He walks it off. The Terrorblade is just being kited around in circles. Another blink away from the Templar Assassin as they chunk through Felix. He's still running back over towards this fight, but they've loaded up the Lifestealer inside of the Sand King. They get the Burrow Strike out. FBZ finds the double kill, and it is a 4-for-0 so far. Terrorblade just forced to walk away. And FBZ not even going to let him go. He's still chasing after him right now. He does have a TP scroll. Gets into the tree line a little bit further. Going to try for the TP out, but FBZ can go for it. And he actually has the Yules. He finds him even without the Burst Strike. Looks like he's still going to be able to grab this kill, and he can't even target him for the Sunder. He's inside of the Sandstorm. So nicely played by FBZ. And Boom ID, they will get that final kill to secure the full team wipe. They head straight into the Roshan pit, and what can Warriors Gaming do at that point? They've got this DK Radiance, but as we saw, he just died super quick to the magical damage in that previous fight. Really needs this BKB. The Axe didn't get a successful call off onto anybody. The supports just lived way too long. There's no way that the Shadow Shaman and the Grimstark should be able to get all of their spells off like that, but Warriors Gaming just weren't really in the position to do too much, and they just didn't really land their abilities. So there you go. What's Dota Plus saying now? 88% chance. Very much liking Boom ID in this situation. Grimstroke's now got himself an Aether Lens. Got the cast range talent coming up before too long as well.
It's not in my nature, but...
Alright, Warriors Gaming, they got a little bit more vision down. Still just kind of playing grouped up as a ball. If they could get a gem to get some map control back, that would be great, but I think that's a bit of a far cry for them right now. For being able just to sit wherever he wants. Has gone for the move speed talent over the plus 30 damage. Kind of interesting. I guess the flat move speed talents are actually way better now since boots are all percentage based. Like flat move speed is really hard to come by. So this actually makes him quite fast. And his team fight this game is mostly just about running around and laying down the Radiance Burn. So I think this is actually kind of the right idea. He's going to be going for an AC next, so Terrorblade is just going to have a miserable game. He's trying to build up a BKB right now, but just not really getting a whole lot of farm.
Radiant are scanning.
What are Boom waiting for? They have Aegis for another 2.5 minutes. I guess this is just where they start Lifestealer sieging, right? Lifestealer goes up, gets a couple of hits. Does need to be somewhat cautious of getting jumped by Axe, but so long as he has the Aegis, it's not really too much of a problem. DK Radiance Illusions are generating some farm for Shadow Demon, but not a whole lot else. Terrorblade did manage to sneak outside of the base, and his illusions are going to start threatening this bottom tower, but FBZ is going to be down here pretty quickly to push that out. Ooh, and Kang also trying to get some farm down here on the bottom side, but TA traps and wards, keeping tabs and everything, and he almost gets found out. TA has just gone for a Hurricane Pike this game. Kind of an interesting choice. I don't really see the motivation necessarily. Kind of lets him play more of an in and out playstyle. Jump in, kill the Rubick of the Shadow Demon, jump out, wait for a refraction, jump back in.
Dire are scanning.
So I'm a little bit surprised not to see like just the BKB coming out. Maybe he'll get it a little bit later on. Oh, oh no, CZ White. The supports wanted to come and push out top lane, but they're just gonna end up being fodder for this Lifestealer. Even lets the just insult to injury, lets the Radiance Burn finish that kill. Oh, FBZ accidentally runs into Kang. They are going to pop the Metamorphosis on this Terrorblade. They get the lift up, but Sand King still pretty tanky. Pops the Crimson, pops the Yules. He's going to be okay. Burst striking away, gets into the Sandstorm, still on the run. If they can just kite this out, that would be an utter disaster for Warriors Gaming. They used the Metamorphosis for this and didn't get anything out of it. Kang still has his Blink Dagger on cooldown for a little bit longer, so TA finishes him off. Felix getting burned down by the Radiance. Mercury getting chunked by Fervian. Lifestealer is here to play, brings down one. Up onto the high ground go the Mass Serpent wards and Boom ID. No messing around. Looking towards their first lane of Rax here. Shadow Demon almost gets killed off by the Templar Assassin, but Mikoto still looking alright. And TB just can't find an angle. I think he's trying to get in here to press Reflection, but Lifestealer making it kind of hard for him. And he can just purge it immediately as well with the Rage, so doesn't really have to worry about it too much. Alright, it just gets reclaimed. Axe up in 2 seconds time, DK in 10. Might be able to mount some kind of a defense. Axe TPing into the trees here. Blink not going to get cancelled. And at least not initially, but then the Radiance Burn kicks in, and boom. Easily claim that second lane of Rax, back to farm stations, take the shrines, take the Roshan, and take their spot. Moving forward here in Group B, up against Warriors Gaming. Who are looking like they're about to be knocked out of the Chongqing Major SEA qualifiers. They lost bottom lane really hard. They kind of lost it 2v3. Shadow Demon, Rubik, Terrorblade versus the Sand King Grimstroke. They didn't find any kills really, and then the Shadow Shaman rotated over. They traded a bunch of farm on Axe for a bunch of farm on Lifestealer, and we've seen how that's worked out for them. The Kang Axe just couldn't really find any kills, and Lifestealer has farmed into an unstoppable force. I doubted this Templar Assassin pick a little bit. I still don't think it's an amazing pick, but just seems like a comfort hero for Mikoto. He did fine in the lane, and then has just been farming up a storm ever since. And now has more than enough items to be able to play in this game. Even picking up an MKB now. And what Warriors Gaming, this seems like a somewhat desperation smoke. They're trying to get outside of the base. It gets broken by Grimstroke. Jokum up here on the high ground. Doesn't have too much help in the neighborhood. FBZ is here and he's thinking about it. He's going for an Aghanim Scepter right now. Oh, they spot Mercury on the other side of the fight. He gets the BKB off. He's focusing on Jokum so far. He's not even doing that much damage, though. The Crimson Guard is helping out immensely. Jokum gets some spells out. Does manage to drop the Soulbind over on the other side of the fight. They've got the Sunder coming through. Terrorblade standing his ground, fighting a little bit longer. He brings in the TA. He's also managed to bring down the Lifestealer. Terrorblade's found his opportunity here. Couple of buybacks coming through. FBZ trying to escape. He's burning down, but manages to hide inside of the Sandstorm. Not going to get caught by Kang. He's got the Burst Strike onto both of them. Kang almost ticking out to the Sandstorm. FBZ wants this kill. He's got the Yules, but looks like he may have actually been baited. Stolen Burrow Strike from the Rubik. Looks like Lifestealer must have gotten sundered, right? What else would have happened? Yeah, I think TB just got the Sunder off successfully, and that killed Lifestealer. TA also getting focused down. Didn't get any damage out, really. Alright. I doubted them, but Warriors Gaming win a big team fight, and now they swing down the mid lane.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
I really think TA needs a BKB. This build seems a bit greedy. Lifestealer now going to be going back for Basher. Has also picked up the 20% evasion talent. So in theory, he is fully equipped against this Terrorblade, but
Dire's middle tower is under
yeah, it goes to show that they still need to be a little bit careful. Roshan's going to be back up in 50 seconds time. Boom, probably just going to re-establish themselves on the map. But Warriors Gaming, after that fight, maybe they have the gold squirreled away somewhere to be able to buy a gem and start securing some more map control. They are just waiting together here on top of this Observer Ward, hoping to find some additional kills now that they've finally broken outside of their base and can get something done. Bounty runes coming up. Both teams going to get 2 apiece. Boom with the smoke.
Dire are scanning.
Roshan up now. Neither team scouting it just yet. Boom on the low ground. We've got Warriors Gaming waiting up on the high ground, but they need to be careful about this shrine. Boomer split. They get the call onto 2. Kezcute and Jokum both in big trouble. Varvian jumps out. He's looking towards Mercury, but they're going to lose both supports at the outset of this fight. FBZ still fighting. They will be able to bring down the Axe trapped inside of the Mass Serpent wards. Nothing to say, unfortunately. Already used the BKB. Did not find that much of an impact in this fight. They need to hit him with the Ink Swell, but he manages to TP out just in time. Makoto won't be able to find him. Mercury isolated now that his BKB is worn out. That's a little bit more like it for Boom ID. They lose the 2 supports, but Grimstroke buys back. Now they head straight into the Roshan pit and should be able to close this one out just in the next little bit. Terrorblade getting... I was worried that the split fight was going to be bad for Boom, but it actually turned out that the split fight was bad for the Terrorblade because he got stuck all the way over here and couldn't actually get into the main body of the fight and do anything useful. So, tricky situation. At least he survives, but there's only 1 lane of Rax left for Boom to claim. They've now got the Aegis on the Lifestealer, Cheese on the Templar Assassin, who's actually just going to push mid and finish off this range tracks. Nice and easy. And alright, yeah, and then now looking like Boom should be able to close this out. We're actually higher up than we were before on the net worth, on the win probability, sorry.
Radiant structures are fortified.
Kang. Thinking about something here. Needs to be careful. FBZ's here on the front lines. He got his Aghanim Scepter. They just want to play the objective, I would imagine, however. No reason to do anything crazy. They can just chip this out. They've got Lifestealer. Alright, TA comes in. They do get the call, but there's the immediate Yule, so no Blade Mail Reflect damage. They jump in. They've got the Shadow Demon first. CZY, Defensive Disruption. Keeps himself alive. They've got the Soulbind out to 2. DK struggling to find an angle. Terrorblade popping everything. BKB and the Metamorphosis. But what's it actually doing? Fervian's just man-fighting him. He doesn't have the Basher just yet, but he's holding him back into the backlines. The Templar Assassin jumps, but a little bit of a weird decision from Mikoto, though that does bait the axe into this fight. Kang now down. Mercury pops his BKB and just looking to fight this one out. TA still got the cheese. He pops that now. They managed to get the Sunder onto Fervian, but FBZ is there with the Epicenter. Mikoto finds himself an Ultra Kill, and that will be Boom ID punching their ticket through into the next round here of this group. They're going to be playing up against the loser of Fnatic versus Tigers for the very last spot out of Group B here. I imagine that series might still be going on, but very nice performance from Boom. Sand King, Grimstroke lane looking really good. I'm still dubious about this Vanguard first, no blink Sand King, but I at least like the move speed talent and the Yules a little bit better than I liked the pipe in the previous game. The Axe got a ton of farm, but then they just didn't really have the vision to be able to make him do anything useful. Just kind of... like I said, he just managed to kill the Grimstroke a bunch of times, and that was about it. I don't really feel like he killed anyone else all that successfully. Let's have a look. The scoreboard has it, right? Yeah, he killed Grim twice, Lifestealer once, and Shadow Shaman once. Grimstroke died a whole bunch, but Lifestealer just the one death the entire game. They gave free farm to the Lifestealer, and I think they definitely paid for it. I don't know if things would have been all that different if DK had gone for something other than the Radiance. I don't know if they really needed the Radiance against the TA. They had other ways to deal with Refraction. I think he was more just thinking, hey, this is a good farming item. It's a decent Radiance game. Maybe I'll just try for it this game, but did not really end up working out. So we are going to jump to a break, and when we come back... wait, is the other series already over? Let's have a quick look here. All right, Fnatic, Tigers, is that still going on, or what's happening? Do we have another lobby? No. Okay, I'm gonna go figure out what's going on, but after this we are gonna have Boom ID versus the loser of that match. Make sure you stick around. The main stream is going to have the Group A decider, which is Wait, is it Mineski? You'd think I would know this stuff, guys. It's yeah, it's Mineski versus Lotak over on Group A, over on the mainstream. So that's pretty good. TNC, of course, already through. And we'll be back after a short break for our next series. I don't know when that's going to start. The scheduled start time isn't for a little bit, but this match was also played before the scheduled start time, so I'll keep you guys updated in the chat as best I can. But thank you so much for watching. I hope you're enjoying all of the coverage of the Chongqing Major SEA qualifiers, and I'll see you back here for a little bit to see the continuation of Boom ID's run here in the qualifiers.